Ndinoda kuti nyika isiwe vanhu vangu inguva yedu hatingatadzi kubudirira Mwari ari parutivi pedu rambai muchirwa
My hitters gon' die, don't die, the real hitters gon' shine and my people gon' rise. Cause we're born to win it. I ain't saying
How the hell do I not have a deal? I swear this thing is a real dog. I play fan off the cowards that they can't feel. The wife try to console me like it's coming, baby, chill. She don't understand. I'm the only one that's real. I remember the third grade. Them kids, they had waves. I had them BDBs. You know that Zimbabwean grade. So they do shades. And your boy hit the stage, press play, and all the chicks was like, yeah. While boys was moving bricks, I was moving chips. If she gave me calculus, gave her a mouthful of it. Heat rose to this thing, boy, I bet on myself.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I want to welcome you to a wonderful Wednesday. First off, it is always wonderful when I got Jay Martin Jr. in the building. I'm so excited. My brother is joining me in the Black Media Matters studios. We're going to be talking about some of the shows he's been able to take in, one that I was able to see with him. So I'm so glad that he is here. We haven't been able to talk shop in quite some time, but of course it is the top of the show. So it's a great time for you to participate and go ahead and tag and share the stream. You tag and share the stream with others who you feel could benefit from a daily dose of dopeness right here on the Day with Trae. If you can't watch our TV show, we still have you covered. You can listen to us anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network and the Day with Trae. You'll find me on Google, Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Apple Music. Whichever platform is your favorite, go ahead, search for us. You'll find us there. Well, before I get into it in this episode with Jay, I just want to say that, when I think about Wednesdays, there's a lot of things that kind of come to mind. Many of us are always talking about, it's hump days, the middle of the week. But it always, for me, feels like one of the busiest days of the week. So at some point, I want to start doing some polls. Y'all can go ahead and drop me some gems at Trae Holiday on Instagram, TraeHoliday. If you're not following me, go ahead and do that first. And then reach out. Let me know, is Wednesday your longest day of the week? Some folks talk about having a case of the Mondays, but I'm realizing that for me, there's so much I want to get done. And Wednesday ends up being, I think, one of the most productive days of the week, but also one of those longer days of the week. So I am putting it out there for y'all to go ahead and let me know. Just drop me something real quick. You know what? Wednesday is a challenge, or you know what? Wednesday is a breeze. I keep my Wednesdays light so I can get sprung board for the rest of the week. Give me some of your ways that you deal with all of the things coming at you during the week and how you deal particularly with Wednesdays. Because I do think when we get into a rhythm, if you got a good groove, I want to hear all about it. I want to know what that Wednesday lineup looks like for you. Maybe it'll help impact me and my heavy Wednesdays. But anyway, just some fun opportunities for y'all to participate as we grow. And we shared this earlier in the week, but now our whole team is connected. So if you have a phenomenal story you need uplifted, go ahead and email us at thedaywithtrae@whereweconverge.com. Make sure you tell us about the phenomenal folks in your community, your neighborhood, in your life that are positively impacting you and or others. We're looking forward to really sharing some stories of others that maybe I'm not connected to or I didn't know existed. Now I know a lot of people, and I'm so grateful because so many come on this show to really share what they do. And I also get the opportunity to connect with vendors and business owners and educators and those who are providing resources out there in community. And I'm always offering the Day with Trae as a way for them to come and be uplifted, because that's really what this platform is about. But I encourage you to make sure you are reaching out to the whole team. Let us know who is impacting you out there so we can start getting your people on here. And that's how you spread it, folks. That's how we share the love and make sure that we're uplifting these inspiring stories. Well, after this short break, one of my inspiring brothers, Jay Martin Jr., is joining me right here on The Day with Trae. We're going to be talking all about the shows he's been seeing, the shows we got to see together. We're going to be diving into it, talking show talk right after this short break. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Kick off the holidays with Irving Berlin's White Christmas at the Fifth Avenue Theater. Music, dancing, and a real snowfall at every performance. Buy tickets now for the whole family. White Christmas at fifthavenue.org.
Prosperity in Black America. What will this require? Is Black business prospering? Are we reaching women and minority-owned businesses? How do we achieve earning parity for wealth for our families? Do our children really have access to education? Will our families have choices for our children? Prison pipelines, mass incarceration, tearing our families apart. A healthcare system not accessible to the masses. The disproportionate termination of Black women from corporate America. When will we actually begin to address what's really at play? How do Black people gain more power to help make these changes? This requires a lot of political will and courage. I'm that provocateur of change. I am Cindy Bright. Welcome to Heartbeat.
Hadestown is the Tony and Grammy Award-winning Best Musical. It's an epic celebration of music, togetherness, and hope. A Broadway musical like no other. This is as good as it gets. Hadestown.
Playing the Paramount Theater October 31st to November 5th. Tickets at stgpresents.org.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Joining me is my brother, Jay Martin Jr. What's up, Jay?
How you doing, Trae?
I'm grand, and it has been way too long, so I'm so
way
glad.
Too long.
I mean, first off, I always got to be like, what is going on in Jay world? Because there's so much greatness happening with you. Tell us all about it.
I'm super grateful. I still do great work with KCTS9 and now also which is PBS and PBS nationally. So I'm getting ready to go back to New York to do a great piece. It's the documentary, The Gospel. I'm really pumped with Henry Louis Gates Jr. I'm excited to be a part of that. And then just doing a lot of different projects as well, too. And so it's been great. My birthday passed. Feels good to be in a new decade. So it's been awesome. And then just family. Family's been a big thing as well, too. So life has been very busy. Still doing the podcast, the Drive Project podcast, wrapping up, I believe, the 6th season and getting ready for new opportunities with it. So it's good. It's good. It's good.
Oh, well, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
And congratulations
Thank
on
you.
another return around the sun.
Yes.
It's always great when we can celebrate each other and uplift each other, and also, tie it to our families.
Right.
When we have the ability to do that, there's something special about that because it resonates with so many more than just us. But of course, when you come on, it's time to talk show. It is all about show talk.
All about shows.
And I'll say this. I want to start because just this past Sunday, the Hadestown wrapped up, and
I'm a fan. I have all these books.
Right.
Listen, I keep all of them. I don't know how many I got because of Converge.
Right.
But this show,
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
So I just want to say, I mean, I was geeking out about it,
Right,
and I'm
right.
so grateful that I got to interview Marla Lusant, who
Yes.
played one of the fates in the show. But it really was. I mean, this is one of those shows where you just walk away with a certain type of feeling about love stories in general.
Right.
But there's so many more messages
Mhm.
impacted in the story. Tell us about this, because this was your first time seeing it. Tell us about your reaction.
I know.
Jay.
And so here's the backstory with me with Hadestown. I remember seeing you go, I believe it was in LA, right? Where you went and seen it.
Right.
Was it Besa as well
Right.
too? You guys went and seen that and you're like, Jay, you need to see this show. So finally it's here in Seattle. And I've been like gearing up for the whole thing. You get to the show, the venue, of course, the Paramount always does an excellent job. And I love the music. It felt like, that Southern New Orleans kind of vibe. Okay, am I wrong? I felt that kind of the vibe, and the singing was excellent. But one of the messages, and now that the show has moved on from the city, one of the messages that really just stood out to me is you can go after something and still not get what you want. But it's the fact that you keep talking about it and trying. And that's what I felt like with that message towards the end of the show. It was like, it's not so much the fact of not giving up. It's, will you still continue? Will you still continue to love? Will you still continue to go after? And it was just, there was a part where they said, and we will still sing the song.
Yeah.
That part, I literally, and when he was hoping to get her, and he didn't get her, but yet they wrapped it up by, and we still will tell the story, and it will continue to go on and on. I don't know. It just resonated with me with that, because I just thought of my own personal journey. There's been plenty of things where you get all the way there and then it doesn't happen. But then you get up another day and you try again and you tell the story over and over in hopes to inspire somebody else to continue going. So that the whole show, the dancing, it was good. The music, from the guitar players to the keyboard, to the way they move, the costumes. And I love me some Hades. I was like, okay, this is good. It was great.
Yeah.
And I thought the cast was pretty diverse as well too. So it was beautiful.
I mean, you're talking so much about all the things that I really love about Hadestown, and I'll say that for me, there is something so special about the musical score.
Yeah.
And it really is, it's one of those stories that is told strictly through song. And so it's a very specific type of musical, because oftentimes we think of a musical and we think of the story moving through, from scripted dialogue to songs. This is all song.
All songs.
And at first I was like, how is that going to sit with me? And then the first time I watched it, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, okay, I just need to come back, because I wanted to see other cast members. So I did see it several times. This was my fourth time seeing
my goodness.
it. And
You're
honestly, it's the most I've seen any show.
Right.
There's been other shows, whether it was ballet, opera, whatever, that I've seen multiple times, but this is the takes the cake, y'all, in terms of how many times I've seen it. But I'll say, even with a new cast, I was like, okay, we got to know the cast last season. This season, we didn't get to know the cast. I did get to interview Marla, but it was something special about how the music carries the story forward. And one of the messages that I resonate with it so much, because it is so reminiscent and reflective of liberation work and movements of liberation within global majority communities across the globe. And when they were talking about, who are they to say? Who are they to say to us, like, who we can be, who we're supposed to be, like this underlying message. I guess it's about a love story, but then it goes into understanding the brilliance of all of us. And who is to say that you have to be a certain thing or fit in this certain box? Who's to say? And that was like, that's always, it gets me verklempt, because I'm just like, yes, like this is why we push in community. This is why we have to push in community. And so I really love, what you just described there. And then, if you have a rotating disc in the middle of your set for the set design, the way they use it and the way they use lighting,
those that were stuck and they could not seem to get out, and they just every day they work. That's all they do. They work. They have no fun. That's it. And the way the set would turn and they do the moves and they would sing with their harmony part. I was like, look, it takes some type of skill to be able to focus. Because, a lot of us, if we were on a rotating, disc, we might slip off.
Right.
But these people were able to still do their moves and hit their notes up and down. They used every part of that set. And did you notice how the set would expand?
Oh, yeah.
And then come back.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I think that this is one of those shows that really exemplifies for me how the set lighting, all of these things are a part of the storytelling.
Yes.
And I get that sometimes when I'm in the opera, because I think they do sometimes a phenomenal job with a limited set, but they utilize it in a way that really tells it's telling the story too. It's alongside, it's that great accompaniment. But I'll also say too, I gotta talk about the Fates and that 3-part harmony. I mean,
when they broke out. And here's the thing. I love harmony because I was taught how to harmonize, I think at the age of like 8. Now, back in the day, you grew up, if your parents could hear any kind of like, you have a tune, my mom had a little paddle stick. So she would stand to the side and be like, you gonna find this note, boy. So when they broke out into that harmony with no music, they were the music. It was just, I was in awe of how they flowed together. And they captivated the audience. And then it was like, it felt like it was just them in the room with me. I don't know. It was just the blending, the way they blended. If you understand blending with notes to where it's almost as one, but 3 I could talk about that for 30 minutes because I understand music.
See, that's exactly why I wanted to get into it with you because I'm like, that in and of itself.
Right.
And
power.
Talking to Marla about this, when I was able to interview her, that was really what it was. It was like, there's something that's so special about that 3-part harmony and the way that it's wielded throughout the story to tell and reflect certain parts of the story in such an intentional way. I'm telling you, it is one of my favorite shows.
Wherever you are watching this show, you need to see this.
I'm to a point where I'm like, I'm gonna follow where it goes next, and I might just have to take a day trip. I mean, like,
should we do that? We need to put that out in the universe. We need to go.
We need to make that happen because this is one of those shows that I just, there's something about seeing it again and really like growing with the cast, and so I'm so glad that you got to see it.
I'm sorry, I want to say something else. What was really cool too was that the main character, the boy, Orpheus. Orpheus, he had a special gift that when he sang, something would bloom. And I thought about, maybe you can't sing, but there's something unique that we all bring to the table that causes something to bloom, that brings us all together. And only you can do that. And I just thought about my own personal journey. Like, every one of us have something special that if we would just not be afraid, step out and let that come out of you, it is so beautiful and it makes the picture much better and people will be in awe of it. I mean, there was so much. I took so much from this show. If I could take and that was just my thing. And not only did that relate, but Hades had the same. See, it was like he forgot his gift.
He forgot it.
Because of everything else that was happening, the mundane, the frustration, the anger, you could miss out on the beauty of what you could actually bring to the table, and it's your gift.
And so much of it, what I love too, y'all. We told
sorry, I'll be gonna run.
but when you talk about Hades, the relationship between Hades and Persephone, in terms of the seasons and the world, really, right? Really was striking to me too, because they connected his ability, Hades' ability, with his youth. And I was, talking to some elders, and when they remember some of the beauty of their youth, like the things that gave them butterflies, the things that made their heart sing, when they're elders, and how you can carry those memories forward, even when you are dealing with like dementia or Alzheimer's or whatever else, some conditions that we can all possibly deal with at some point in our lives. The idea that there's something that can also anchor you in the beauty of your existence in terms of your youth, that was expressed through that relationship with Hades and Persephone too. So I love that you talked about it. I mean, not to mention his baritone voice.
Oh, my goodness. seriously,
jaw-dropping,
shook you to the core.
So
but
good.
her voice,
Yeah.
ooh, there was she leveled it.
Yeah.
I was like, girl, you can sing.
Right.
It was fantastic.
Well, I'm glad because
Yeah.
you and I get to
Yes.
talk.
Yes.
In a way that is really detailed because we care so much about story.
Right.
And recently you got to see another story. Tell us all about it.
I got to see the show, the ballet, Love and Loss. It was so beautiful. You know what was really cool? I always bring my daughter to the ballet because she loves the ballet, and she got to bring one of her little girlfriends, and super fun. And this time I brought my wife as well too.
Nice.
She's never been to like a main like ballet.
Wow.
And so it was so cool for us to be there. And one of the cool things that happened was there were promotions that took place. So I have to give a shout out to these amazing dancers. I have Clara, who became a soloist, Koo, who became a soloist as well, and Sarah became a principal.
Wow, kudos to our folks over there at PNB. This is one of those things that I think is so special about ballet that I didn't know really existed before going, is that we get to follow their careers.
Their
and
journey.
That is the beauty of it. We get to be there as they grow in ballet, and we grow with them, right? As we see their skill sets. I'm thinking about Destiny and others who have just, we got to see them kind of start out and get their first like major role when they played Belle and Beauty and the Beast. And like, I think about all of these, the characters, when I see them again, I'm like, look at y'all.
I know.
Look at y'all growing and killing it on that stage every time. So that's one. I was supposed to be there.
No, it
last
was
week.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna make my point.
And that's running all the way to the 12th.
Yeah.
So you have time to see that. And I love me some Jonathan. That's King right there. Damiel. Amanda. Lucian. It was so, one of my favorite parts, and I won't give it away, was the second act, where it felt like one dancer was looking through a window, seeing like a story that was taking place. I won't give it away, but it was just so amazing how that second act was like, there was like 4 parts to it. So there's 2 intermissions to the show. So, get you a nice little glass of wine, do what you need to do. But it is amazing from act 1 all the way to act 3, how they just leave it on the floor. The excellence, the movements, the turns. You could hear people gasping in the audience because of how much they felt so connected. And when I talk about love and loss, you felt the love, you felt the pain, the agony, the frustration, all of it on that stage was handled so well. So shout out to all of the dancers. I look forward to seeing the next show, and I'm proud of the ones that just got promoted. It was beautiful.
Oh, Jay, see, this is why we get to talk. Thank you again for being here. Thank you for being present in our community to bring these stories back right here. Anytime. We'll be doing it again real soon. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my word. I'm telling you, we got to cut it short because, he and I can go for a very long time. But I'm so glad that he was able to join me. I'm going to wrap it all up right after this short break. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
A world of wonder awaits at Pacific Northwest Ballet's The Nutcracker. Treat your loved ones to the Northwest's favorite holiday tradition at Seattle Center's McCall Hall. Visit pnb.org.
A new COVID vaccine is here. It's designed to help prevent the COVID variants that we're seeing spreading now. Even if you got COVID before or got COVID booster shots and the vaccine, it's important to get this new vaccine. It's safe to get the COVID shot and the flu shot at the same time. Get both to prevent serious illness this fall and winter.
Hello, it's Marcus Trufant here, and for the month of October, Burger Master and the Trufant Family Foundation are coming together. The Trufant Jalapeno Burger is great. It's going down, and a portion of each burger sold is going right back to the community. Go Hawks! Let's make it happen.
Hadestown is the Tony and Grammy Award-winning Best Musical. It's an epic celebration of music, togetherness, and hope. A Broadway musical like no other. This is as good as it gets. Hadestown.
Playing the Paramount Theater October 31st to November 5th. Tickets at stgpresents.org.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Of course, my brother, you can find him, J. Martin Jr., on Instagram. Go ahead, look for the Drive podcast. Of course, make sure you are looking at our blog right here on whereweconverge.com. You'll also see some of his amazing work there. But I'll say this, it's always a pleasure to have him here, and I'm so grateful. Huge shout out to him for joining me today on this wonderful and wonderfully filled Wednesday when he is present. It's always great to be able to talk to someone who loves theater and the arts as much as me, so we can really dive into some of these amazing aspects of the show that we get to walk away from. And it's just my time to encourage you. I mean, people can sit up and say, what does Seattle got? Man, there ain't this, there ain't that. There is some amazing life happening in the arts, y'all. There's amazing shows and amazing performers who are coming to the Seattle area to bring their gifts and talents here. And I just want to encourage you to find some shows to go to this season. They are out. Shows are coming. The Nutcracker's coming back. Take your family there. It's a family-filled time, and it's fun for all the kids and the adults. Just participate in some of these amazing artistic shows that are right here in our backyard, whether it's the opera, the ballet, theater, live concerts, other types of shows that come to these amazing venues, because sometimes it's comedy, or it's like the Blue Man Group, or it's like, an acrobatic show. I mean, there's just so many things. But if you don't tap in, you won't know they exist. So I'm encouraging you now to be inspired by what Jay and I were talking about today, as we walk away so filled from all of these phenomenal shows we get to see. I'm telling you, get out there, figure out, what does STG Presents have going on? What's going on at McCall Hall, whether it's the ballet or the opera? What's going on at some of these other venues? Let me just get out here. If you still want to be masked up, because you can. It's your prerogative. But get out there and experience some of the brilliance that's happening and coming right here to our city. Y'all know I'm inspired by what Jay does. I want you to be inspired. And sometimes it may mean that you need to get out there to find some of that inspiration. So I encourage you to do so. And for me, y'all, until tomorrow at 11 a.m., peace. Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.